Hi there guys, it's Sam from Tantrum Kitesurf. Now if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am crazy about short lines. I love them. And the reason is simple, because it makes my life as an instructor, but more importantly, your life as someone who's learning to kitesurf that much easier. It really can knock weeks off the time it takes you to learn to kitesurf, but more importantly, make the process a whole hell of a lot more fun and a lot safer. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can transform your bar, that's any bar out there pretty much, into a bar that has not just its normal, let's say 20 or 22, 24 meter lines, but also an option to have 12 meters and then 6 meters. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is identify the attachment points. This is really important. Why? Because if we get this wrong and you attach it to the wrong point, you're going to find that your lines are all different lengths. Generally, the back lines are too short or they're too long, and your kite just will not fly properly. So it's important that you take a bit of time and work out exactly where the lines are going to attach. Now, what you are looking for on the steering lines is the point where the line itself, i.e. the thin line, attaches to what will generally be a fatter line running out from the bar. Don't attach it to the bar itself. You will generally have on most kites a foot or 2 foot, that's about half a meter of line running out from the bar itself. And as a good guide, it should be, if you look in the photo here, about the same height as the black block that you can see in the middle there, i.e. where the center lines attach. So all 4 lines should attach roughly at the same point. Now it won't be exactly, because those center lines, because the lines are designed to move through the bar, it could be up or down depending on where the chicken loop is. But you see, if you have the chicken loop pulled all the way up to the bar, those 4 lines should attach at more or less the same point. So that's a good guide. If you're way out, you've probably chosen the wrong attachment point. So make sure you get that right first. And as I say, what you're looking for on the steering lines is the point where the line itself, the thin line, attaches to the fatter line coming out of the bar. Generally, it'll be marked, as in this one, by a lark's head knot where the line's actually attached. And the center lines, what you've got on this kite, you've got a block in the middle, and the lines actually attach inside that block. So the lines inside that block, they've attached there to a flag line, and they've attached to a thicker bit of line which stops the line running out and falling out of the block itself. Okay, so having identified the attachment points, we can now go about actually shortening the lines. So I'm going to show you here the steering line to start with. So the first thing we need to do is remove the pigtail. Now this is a little bit more difficult than it shows in the video. This took me probably about a minute with a fair bit of swearing, to be fair. Once you've got it off though, take the pigtail, guard it somewhere safe. You are going to need that later. Once you've got it off, what we need to do is create a lark's head in the end of the line. The line will have a loop at the end where it attached the pigtail. Use that loop to create a normal lark's head knot, just as you normally would when setting up the kite. The difference here is that we feed the line itself back through the lark's head. I'll show you that again. We feed the line itself back through the lark's head and then run the lark's head all the way down back towards our attachment point. So you're pulling the line itself back through its own lark's head, all the way back down the bar. Keep going, keep going, keep going. If you've set your bar up properly, this won't happen. If you've laid your bar out properly, this won't happen. Obviously, I was being lazy. But you go all the way back down until you get back to that attachment point. Okay, once you're at the attachment point, all you literally do, just like you would when attaching the lines to your kite, you pull the lark's head tight beneath the knot formed by the attachment point itself. Okay, and you can see there, just pulling it nice and tight So it locks off on that attachment point. And now you have your line doubled. So it's halved in length. So let's say you've got 24 meter lines. That is now 12 meter lines. What you want to do now, find the end point of those lines. That's quite simple to do. You walk back up the lines, pulling them tight at the end point to find the actual end point, and then reattach the pigtail at the end of the lines, like so. So you can see now we've got the pigtail attached right at the end of the lines. The line itself is doubled up, so we've got two lines running out. So we've halved the length of the lines. Important to note here that we've got the pigtail at the end of the line. So we've made sure that the line is doubled efficiently and you haven't got one side of the doubling that's longer than the other, because that's going to make things really wonky. Power lines are a bit more tricky because we've got to make sure that we don't disable the flag system. So it's really important that you identify your flag line, and however you're going to do this, we don't disable the flag line. So you can see on this example, the flag line is the line attached to the red flag underneath it. Now, this is going to be very different across all kites. So you will have to work out the best way of doing this on your kite. Generally, there's a way of doing it. Not on all bars, it has to be said. There are some bars that you just cannot do this without quite a large amount of modification. Luckily, on this bar, as you can see here, Airush have very kindly put a loop in the middle where you can pull out and then use as an attachment point. So what I'm going to do here is pull the loop out and then take another pigtail and attach it through that loop. Now, ideally, I would be using a pigtail with a knot in the end. This one doesn't, it has a loop. So what I'm going to do is put my own knot as close as I can to the attachment point. There we go, got a knot nicely there. And now I can use that knot as an attachment point. So all I'd do here is I would then take my power lines, double them back, and just literally lark's head underneath that knot, both of them. Now the advantage here is by doing this, the reason we have to attach a separate line there is because by doing this, the flag system will still work. So we've got our steering lines doubled over, we double back our power lines, attach them in exactly the same. With the power lines, we don't need to run them through themselves. Obviously, you would just remove the pigtail at the end, take the loop, bend it backwards, reattach it at the knot point there, and then reattach the pigtail at the top end, and you're good to go. Do that twice, and you're good to go. And then we do the same with the steering line on the other side, so you've got all your four lines doubled over very nicely. Okay, that's great, but all we've done there is halve our line length, which again might be what we want to do. So we've taken 24 lines in this case and turned them into 12 meter lines. But if you want to go really short, if you're just starting out kite surfing, this is the first time ever flying the kite, I would suggest going even shorter. So for this, we want to double them up again. So we want to turn them from what is now 12 meter lines into 6 meter lines. So the way we do this, we go back to the end of our lines, we remove the pigtail again if we'd put the pigtail back on, and we just do exactly the same thing. So we form a lark's head knot with the two lines, and then again pass the lark's head back along the length of the lines that we've already doubled over, right back to our attachment point. Shorter this time because we're only doing it down 12 meter lines. And then as we reach our attachment point, again, simply pull that lark's head tight underneath the attachment point. So now you can see we've got our lines, we've got 4 lines ideally running out there. So we've quartered the line length, and all we need to do again now is just attach that pigtail at the end of the lines. So you see we've got the pigtail attached, and if you look there, there is the line's folded over 4 times. So we've halved it again. So you've taken your 24-metre lines and you've now got 6-metre lines. If you want to get the most out of your short lines, take a look at our online course. It's designed to knock weeks off your learning time and save hundreds on your kitesurfing lesson costs. If you're watching this on YouTube, there will be a link appearing somewhere around the video now. Click on that link, it will take you over to the page and let you know what it's all about. If you're on Instagram, click on our profile page, click the contact us button, send me an email, and I'll get you all the details. We've had hundreds of people go through this. It's getting rave reviews, and it's designed to do exactly what it says on the tin. It's literally packed full of exercises you can do right now, which will knock weeks off the time it takes you to learn to kitesurf. Okay, so quite simple to take it all apart. All you would do, unattach the pigtail. Again, store it somewhere safe so you're not going to lose it. Go back to the attachment points. Now we want to undo the last lark's head first. So we undo the doubled lark's head first, then just pass it back up through the lines. It's important at this point that you make sure you don't get anything tangled, because this can cause you a load of problems down the line. So just make it nice and slow, run it out. Keep going nice and gentle till you're all the way back at the end and it just pulls out of itself. Again, making sure you don't put a knot in it at this point. Once that's done, head back to the attachment point and we're just going to do exactly the same for the other line. And then reattach the pigtail at the end. Really hope that helped you guys. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. As always, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.